everybody, so we're going to talk about an Old Testament story this week. We're going to talk about Abraham and his son Isaac, and when it was time for Isaac to get married, and what happened then. Let's go ahead and listen to the story. God promised Abraham a son, and made special promises for him and his descendants. Abraham and Sarah waited a long time until their son Isaac was born. Abraham was getting old, and his only son Isaac needed to get married. But the young girls in their town didn't know and love God. I will send my servant back to the country where I was born, to find a girl who really loves God to be a wife for Isaac, he thought. It was a long way to go, and the servant asked God to help him find the right girl to marry Isaac. She must be kind, hardworking, and love God. The girl who gives me water to drink and gets water for the camels will be the right bride for Isaac, he said. Very soon Rebekah came to get water from the well. After she gave the strangers a drink, Rebekah gave water to the camels. They were very thirsty and drank a lot of water, and the buckets were heavy. When she had finished watering the camels, the servant said, "I have a gift for you. My master Abraham sent me to find a bride for his son Isaac." God had answered Abraham's prayers, and Rebekah's father gave his blessing, and she went back with the servant to marry Isaac. Rebekah loved God and was kind and worked hard. So Abraham wanted his son's bride to know God and to love God, because that is really important for us to know other people in our lives that love God, so we can love God with them and worship together and foster all sorts of those types of relationships. They also wanted her to be really hardworking, just a really good person. So he sent his servant back to where they came from, where people practiced the same religion and people there knew God and loved God. So he set up a plan where he waited for someone to help him get water and to help get water for the camels, to show how kind and hardworking they were, because it was a lot of hard work to get that water out of the well, especially for the camels, because the camels would drink a lot of water. So Rebekah came and got all the water for him and showed what a kind and nice person she was. So that was valuable, how hardworking and how kind. And she also loved God. So he took her back and she got married to Isaac. This story is kind of weird for us to think about in today's concepts. Like, they had never met each other and they got married, right? That's a little crazy today, but that's how things worked back then a lot of times. There are a lot more arranged marriages and things like that. So this story just kind of shows us if we love God and we are hardworking and do all the things we're supposed to do, a lot of times good things will come to us and there will be something at the end of all this hard work for us, whether it be in heaven or whether it's something on earth. So let's go ahead and make a craft of a camel. Just help us remember this story about how she got water out of the well for all the camels. For this craft, you want a couple plastic cups, 4 clothespin, some tape, some brown paper. I'm going to use a brown paper bag, a marker, and a pair of scissors. I'm going to take my 2 plastic cups and I'm going to tape them together. So this is a little bit tricky sometimes. I just smushed 2 other plastic cups and had to refill this. So you might want to roll your tape out a good ways and then wrap it around, not attached to the roll, because otherwise you might be trying to do it a little bit too tight, which was the issue I was having before, and that's why I smashed a couple cups before this attempt. So these are actually going to be our camel's humps. So you want to try to get them to separate a little bit. There we go. Then you're going to put your clothespins on your cup for our camel's legs. So he can stand up now. So that's our body. Then I'm going to cut out a couple things out of my brown paper. I'm going to get a little camel's tail. For one end. So camels have kind of like horse tails or cow tails, so I'm going to color the end of it black, so it just kind of looks a little bit more like a tail. And then pick whichever end you want to be the behind of your camel, and just tape his tail on. So use a little tiny piece of tape. So now my camel has a tail. And then I need my camel's head. The camel's head's maybe a little bit more tricky. So I'm going to draw his neck, and it's just going to come up head, give him a little nose. Then you can give him a smile, and you can give him an eye. You could use some googly eyes if you want. So I'm going to cut that out. So on the other side, I'm going to trace his smile and his eye that bled through, just so we have it on both sides. Then I'm going to give him a nose, too. Then once you have that, you're going to take another piece of tape. Actually, I'm going to fold his neck slightly, and then put the tape along that fold, and then tape it onto your camel. So you could cover your camel's humps in brown tape, you could paint them, you could color them in with a marker to make them a little bit more uniform, but there's your camel. So I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in Sunday school. Bye!